Hello, my name is David Downing, and for my first vignette, I have decided to talk about pricing and what I've learned through class and how I can use two examples and ideas that I can share with the University of Denver in order to improve their marketing strategy. My first business recommendation for the University of Denver is going to be an early commitment scholarship. DU does already have an early decision scholarship where they receive $5,000 if they sign and say that they're committed to DU. However, I think that if DU wanted to get more students into the door, if they provide a $1,000 scholarship before May 1st, then this would allow them to gain interest and traction for those students to deposit, therefore likely retaining them more, which we call yield. And with this, we've learned from data that we've used in my role specifically, where I'd say about 30% of these students actually decide not to come to DU because they were within $1,000 range. So this extra incentive could likely get more students to DU. This tactic specifically is a special event where they're going to be using psychological pricing to entice students to deposit to DU, therefore making it more appealing to those students. Rather than changing the tuition price, we were specifically trying to change the perceived price for the students, which in their mind makes it a better deal for them to come to DU. With this incentive, we hope that we can retain more of our students by having them make a decision sooner and deposit earlier. This way, we'll have the numbers and information that we need going into the school year, so this will help us dramatically. The larger strategy with this is that we are hoping to enroll more students rather than maximizing the price per student, so that way we can get a larger fund through quantity over maximizing the profit, essentially. My second idea for DU would be to do a DU commitment match. My second idea for DU would be a DU commitment match for competing offers. This would be for a competitive scholarship incentive for students who have received offers from other universities where DU would actually go ahead and match this. We would take this information and also do it for targeted groups. That way we're being specific and intentional on who we're giving this to and thinking through this so that we're not offering it to every single student, since we still would need people to pay whatever price that is so that the DU can still have the financial allocations that they need for the university. The goal of this scholarship would be to reduce the gap for those students, creating more of an incentive for them to come to DU rather than a different school, since financial is one of the largest aspects where we lose students because they find DU to be too expensive for them. This scholarship would be targeted towards students who are already admitted to DU and would be considered academically strong and highly contested between different universities. So we would be very intentional on who we choose for the scholarship, as I mentioned previously. From class, there are three different things that we learned that I would be taking into account when coming up with this strategy, specifically competitor pricing, differentiated pricing, and maximizing market share. What this is going to do is make DU seem more affordable and give them a more competitive advantage against other universities, providing really great scholarships and overall lower cost than DU. Even if we might give a better scholarship, it doesn't necessarily mean that in the end the student would be paying less just because we have a higher scholarship. So this match program or scholarship would be really beneficial for these students that are in high demand. And this would be very beneficial for DU because all in all, we just need students. Between these two strategies that I've just mentioned, this is how DU can implement what we've learned in class, specifically on pricing to get more students to DU so that way we can have a more effective marketing strategy.